What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I haven't been around for a while, but I'm back. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. I'll take a look at the bullish and the bearish case scenario. In the more immediate term, might be a little bit bullish, but I'm still bearish overall, and I'll show you exactly why. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's totally free, guys. Let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. We're going to be taking a look at something real quick. I just want to put this in perspective. Here's the big pump that everybody's been talking about. We went from 67.50 all the way up to, what was it, 77.75, right in that range, which is a big pump. Don't get me wrong, but we're going to put it in perspective here real quick. It's not as huge as people seem to think, and I'm going to show you why. First of all, we'll go into the daily and take a look at it there. There it is right here. As you can see, not nearly as big as it was looking. I'm still looking at this as a rising wedge here, guys, or channel, whichever way you want to look at it. We'll look at it both ways and look at the targets both ways. But now I'm going to zoom out and just show you guys where it's at and what we're looking at. It's right there, this little pump here. That's not all that big yet, guys, so I would not get too excited. And if we look, the volume's still declining here. Let me show you. Still declining, so we haven't had any real breakout volume yet. Not to say that we won't, but let's take a look at the Bitcoin news headlines just to get a feel for the sentiment. First off, no, Bitcoin isn't trading for 15,000 in Lebanon. That must be a rumor I haven't heard of. Bitcoin readies to surge as sellers get hit with technical triple whammy. After dropping to 1,200, Bitcoin will skyrocket to 333 million. Market wrap Bitcoin steady at 7.5 as short sellers back off. Why global deflation may not be bad news for Bitcoin. So it's more bullish news for Bitcoin. Let's check the fear and greed index. We're at 24. We rose 4 points from yesterday, still in the extreme fear. And let's take a look at the monthly. Now, if we look at the monthly here, we have gotten rejected at the 8 EMA, right there at that 77.80, right in that range. If we can close the monthly above that, then maybe we could be bullish, but I still don't see it happening, guys. I could be dead wrong, but we're going to look at both ways. Still have the 55 EMA on the monthly down here at about 48.50, 4900, somewhere in that range, depending on if we went down there. And I want to remind you guys, a good way to help support the channel is my wife's webpage. There's a link to it below, inkourimage.com. She has a lot of cool crypto stuff in there, aluminum signs, t-shirts, hats, mugs. She can put any crypto you want on any of this stuff. Hit her up in the contact. There's also stuff that's not listed, like long sleeve tees, hoodies, socks, keychains, some other stuff. Hit her up in the contact if you're interested. I appreciate it. And don't forget to smash the likes, guys, and leave your comments down below. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out. And yeah, let's take a look at the weekly. Now, I have some super low targets we're going to take a look at here. As you can see, on the weekly, we have gotten rejected by the 55 EMA right there. And we've had these red support resistance lines here, and that also met up right in the same area. As you can see, it does look like a falling broadening wedge here, but let's take a look at the measured move. If we looked at this as a flagpole and this as a bear flag, and we take the measured move, if we were to break out sometime next week, break down, maybe even this week, I doubt it this weekend though, but the low that I see there, the worst case scenario would be around the $1,000 to $1,050 range. Definitely a possibility. I'm not saying it's going there, guys, but I am saying it's a possibility. And do I think we'll go straight down? No, I don't. If we do it, it will probably, take weeks. Who knows? But anyways, I also have this target here at the $2,500, $2,600 range, and that's just an old trend line from 2006. And like I said, you can see even in the weekly here, the volume is still declining. So basically what I'm saying is we have not broke anything yet. We're still in a decline. Now let's look at the daily. And I'm going to go back to this. I haven't showed this in a little while. If you look at this bottom trend line I have here, I've cloned that and I put one on each one of these wicks up top. And you'll see how that's taking effect here in a minute. Let me get rid of the RSI for a second. All right, if you look back here, as we came across each one of these, they were support and resistance all the way up. Same thing all the way down. And we are back at that again. We just wicked through this middle line here twice, and we are below it now. If we close the daily below it, most likely we're headed back down to retest this line, and that's going to be somewhere around the 7,200, possibly, guys. Depending on how quick we come down, we may just test the bottom of this wedge. I still believe this is a wedge. Some people, if I move this, you can look at it as a rising channel. Either way, guys, overall, I'm still bearish on this as of right now. Nothing has changed in my opinion. Like I said, unless we break this top trend line or this bottom trend line, I don't see anything huge happening. But let's take a look at the possibilities. As of right now, the RSIs do look pretty bullish. The 8 has crossed the 55 EMA. Tomorrow, if we are still up in this range or higher, the 13 will be crossing the 55. But what it looks like to me is we're most likely going to come back down and test these RSIs before continuing up any higher. Also, take a look at this real quick. Like I said, on the daily, you can see the volume still declining. We have not had a breakout. That's why I still believe we're in this formation. Now we'll take a quick look at the measured moves. Let's do measured moves looking at this as a wedge first. If we were to break down within the next few days, and who knows when that could be, you know, it could be a week from now. But let's just say, let's just say we broke out a week or two. We'd be looking around. The measured move, if this is a wedge, is around $4,400. As you guys know, if you watch the channel, I've been looking at this 5,400. I still am looking at the 5,400 as my target. Unless, make sure you guys pay attention, unless we break this line, then my lower targets are invalid. Unless, if we don't break this, then my lower targets still are valid as long as we break this bottom trend line. As you can see, I have some white targets, or they're not targets, the white price lines. These are just my Fibonacci retracements from this swing high to this swing low. 5,400 actually is one too. That's the 0.236 fib. But I do believe that's what I'm still looking at, guys. Like I said, unless we break this top trend line. Right now on the daily, the 200 EMA is sitting around the 70, right around the $7,890 to $8,000 range, which is also the 0.618 Fibonacci golden pocket zone. The golden pocket is actually between the 0.618 and 0.65, and the 0.65 is sitting about 82. So between 8,000 and 82 is the highest I see us going. Unless if we go higher than that, we've obviously broken the wedge, the top trend line here. So keep an eye on that. But let's take a look at the other measured moves. So if we took a measured move of the break upward of this, that could get us as high as the 10.9 range. I don't see that happening, not all at once anyways. Let's take another look at looking at this as a flagpole, this being a bear flag. Although I don't like that, it should be up here, but that was the one I showed you earlier around the $1,000 range. But let's see what would happen here. So that would be around the 3370 range, which also lines up with this trend line right here. So again, guys, I'm still bearish here unless we break this top trend line. I can't stress that enough. If we break this, all my lower targets are off from there. Now let's take a look at this as a rising channel. I know a lot of people are looking at it as that. I don't like to look at it as a rising channel because of this down here. But we'll still take some measured moves off of it. If we were to break down, let's say in the next 3 or 4 days, break the bottom of this, 5,200, 5,250 is our target there. If we went up, if we broke out in the next day or two, 9,300 would be my target for that, although we do have the 0.786 fib at 9,100. But guys, again, 8,000 to 8,200, I think if we go any higher, that would probably be where we would get rejected and come down, in my opinion. But again, guys, I am still bearish here overall. I know a lot of people are super excited, but like I said, if you look at where we're at and look at the volume, nothing has really confirmed any breakout of any sort as of right now. So let's go into, before I do that, let's look at the RSI. So the RSI, this is one thing that is still looking bullish. If you guys remember, way back a couple weeks, probably about a month ago actually, I had drawn this possibility of an inverse head and shoulders. And as you can see, that looks like it did play out, came back and tested the shoulder here. So if that's the case, then we probably will see our higher highs. We could go up to this 9,100 if that is the case. But again, guys, I'm not too sure about that. I am still more bearish. Let's look at 4 hour. Same thing in the 4 hour. We could just take a little bit closer look of these center trend lines I told you about. We are getting rejected at this one right now at the 75-66 range. If we're able to close a 1 hour and a 4 hour, as you can see, we have not closed a 4 hour above this. So if we can close a 4 hour above 75-72 area, then I would say that we're, bullish to at least retest the top of this wedge here. If we look at the RSI, and then we'll take a look at Litecoin and Ethereum real quick also. If you guys are interested in trading, I'm going to leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Definitely check it out. There's also, if you go down below in my links, I have some promo codes. You get a 50%. So if you was to deposit $1,000 on it, they would put an extra $500 in your account. But you can't withdraw that. You can just use it for trading. Obviously, they're not just going to give you money to withdraw, but you can use it towards your trades and keep the profits. I also have a couple other exchange links down there. Has a little info on them. Depends on what kind of trading you're doing or whatnot, but check them out. That also helps the channel out, guys, if you do use my links, and all of them have some kind of bonus attached to them. So definitely check it out. Good way to support the channel if you are going to be trading. And if you do, please be careful. Do not put in more than you're willing to lose. Don't use super high leverage and don't get crazy. But anyway, right now it does look like in the 4 hour, like we are forming a symmetrical triangle. Looks like we're most likely going to come back down and retest the bottom of this. So that would line up with coming back down to test maybe the 7,200 or this 55 EMA, wherever that might be when we get down here, 7,250, 7,300, somewhere in that range. But yeah, that's what I see as of right now. Another thing I wanted to point out, I've drawn this trend line off of these two peaks right here. That coincides with the top of the wedge and 0.618 fib at around 79.80, 79.90, right in that range. So keep that in mind also. But like I said, guys, I'm still bearish unless we break this top trend line. Then I turn bullish. And we will see what happens after that, if that is to happen. But as of right now, I'm still bearish. I'm still looking for these lows down here. So let's go into Litecoin. Same exact thing, Litecoin, except we are not towards the top, as close to the top of the wedge. Ethereum here is the only one that is a little bit different. It is up towards the top of the wedge. So let's just take a quick look at the measured moves here, looking at it as a wedge. If we were to break down over here, we are looking at around the $24 range. If we were to break up in this area, we're most likely looking towards the $70 to $72 range if we break up out of the wedge. Although I would expect some serious resistance on this pink trend line here, drawn off of old support, became resistance here, depending on where we were to hit it. I also drew this trend line off of these two wicks, just like in Bitcoin. And yeah, that obviously, if it doesn't match up like Bitcoin, but let's just say we came up to around this range, it'd be 56, somewhere in that range. But guys, again, unless we break this top trend line, I am still bearish. I still believe we have further down to go. Let's look at it as a bear flag, and that would be around the 1820 range if we were to break down in the next week or so. And if we break up, we could go as high as the $76 range, and that is breaking the top of this wedge here. Ethereum, same thing, guys. If we use the wedge measurement, if we were to break down, we'd be looking around 113. If we were to break up here, we're looking around the 259, 260. And if we look at it as a bear flag, a big bear flag over here, we could be looking as low as the $30 Ethereum. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. Don't forget to check out my affiliate links down below. Also got some wallet links down there. Brave browser. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it. It's awesome. You can earn Brave tokens by using it. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave your comment down below. Click the CryptoSavy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. And I am out.